What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Punchlight X. Let's jump right in. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall might actually be happening. Jones has been accused of dodging Aspinall, but after UFC 313, Dana White insisted that Bones wants the fight. Before we continue, don't forget to drop a like to support the channel. Throughout 2024, Jones dismissed the matchup, claiming it wouldn't add to his legacy. But after UFC 309, he admitted he'd take the fight for the right price. More recently, Aspinall suggested Jones and his camp were holding things up. But following UFC 313, White shut down those claims, stating that Bones is on board.
Listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight, just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon
I'm
would
very
fight in
confident
summer on first
that
take.
fight happens, yeah.
Summer?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As you saw, White also confirmed that the UFC is aiming to book the fight for this summer. Given the promotion's history of hosting massive events during International Fight Week, UFC 317 on June 28th in Las Vegas seems like the likely target. But what do you think? Is Jones versus Aspinall finally happening, or will you believe it when you see it? Meanwhile, following Magomed Ankalaev's championship win on Saturday, he was asked how he'd fare against Jon Jones at 205. The new champ is confident. He believes he could have handed Bones his first legitimate defeat.
I think I could back then in the time if I was at the same time fighting as Jon Jones was. I don't see why not.
Some might see that as a bold claim, considering Jones was at his peak throughout most of his light heavyweight reign. But what do you think? Could Ankalaev have beaten a prime Jon Jones at 205? Meanwhile, Alex Pereira fires back at his ex-girlfriend. After his UFC 313 loss, she posted a video on social media tagging Magomed Ankalaev and stirring up controversy.
We have a new light heavyweight champion. No more Shama, Kama. So, he lost at the International Women's Day. Maybe that's a sign, guys. I don't know. New light heavyweight champion Ankalaev. Congrats. You did a really good job. If you guys are talking robbery, you don't understand anything from MMA. So let's not talk about robbery. That's completely BS. This guy won, and actually, he got this title shot very, very late, right? So I think we should give him some props. Even if we don't like him or we don't like his fighting style, we should give him some props. No more Shama.
I think she should stop mentioning my name. See you, her husband might get jealous, Shaw. Alex Pereira fired back at his ex-girlfriend by responding with a sharp message, making it clear he wasn't going to stay silent. Alex's ex is known for taking shots at him whenever she gets the chance. Months ago, she even left a comment under a photo of Alex and Chris Brown, stirring up more drama. Only missing Jon Jones in this pick and thee trio is perfect. Merab Dvalishvili wasn't happy when a UFC fan asked him to sign a picture of him getting knocked out. Here's the clip.
Yo, bro, I want to ask you if you can sign this, bro. Can you sign this, bro?
We're just gonna do one, brother.
Can you sign, bro? Yeah, it's just that, bro. It's just that.
Why that one? That's what.
Why that one, bro? What? It's a defining moment, bro.
No, not this
I'm
one.
from Oregon, bro. It's a defining moment. It's just pictures, bro.
No,
It's just pictures, bro.
no, not those
It's just
ones.
pictures, bro.
Not those ones.
All right.
No, not that.
All right, it's all good. It's all good. Umar beat you, bro. Umar will beat you next time, bro.
Not everyone agrees with the judge's decision in Saturday's headliner between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. Some believe Pereira was robbed, but it seems Tom Aspinall has no issue with the scoring. Two judges had it 48-47 for Ankalaev, while the third scored it 49-46, crowning him the new light heavyweight champ. Aspinall was streaming the fight live, and when Ankalaev stunned Pereira badly in the second round, the heavyweight had this to say: "Rocket him, mate. He's lucky he didn't get knocked out there. If that was me, he would have been snoozing." As for the fight itself, Aspinall had no doubt that Ankalaev deserved the win. I'm not a judge, so put that on record, but I think 3 rounds to 2 for a Anive comfortably, maybe 4 rounds to 1 for a Anive. I think P may have took the first. Adesanya reacted to Alex Pereira's loss at UFC 313. Here's what he had to say.
Winning this round, he won this round. Pereira won. I think it's that still. Wow. Round 2 might have played a factor just because he dropped him. I think he'll get a rematch.
If Pereira had beaten Ankalaev, talk of him fighting John Jones next would have exploded. But as Aspinall pointed out, that matchup isn't really on the table now. Aspinall also echoed Dana White's comments after UFC 313. The UFC is simply waiting on John Jones to finalize a location and date for their fight.
That's off the table now. The Alex Pereira fight at heavyweight or any other weight, really. Yeah, John, there's only one way. There's only one thing to do, mate. Sign the contract and let's get a date going. And I know we seen last night Dana White was talking. Everything is now done on John's side, and the UFC now have to find a date and a venue, a place. So we're waiting for that. We've got some good news coming soon, hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll get an update soon on when Jones and Aspinall will finally clash to unify the UFC heavyweight titles. Speaking of Pereira and Ankalaev, both fighters shared statements on social media after their bout. Pereira reassured his fans that he's doing fine and promised to come back stronger than ever.
Bom dia, bom dia, bom dia. Com alegria. Bem machucado aqui, mas isso aqui é artificial. Já já a gente dá conta. Como, Brunão?
Aquele jeito, né? Porque vamos voltar mais forte. É isso aí. Isso aí vai fazer o nosso time crescer.
Chama.
Tá entendendo? Chama. Chama. Chama.
É, a galera toda aí.
Chama, bebê. Chama, bebê. Chama, bebê. Bora pra casa descansar. Chama.
Meanwhile, the new champion told the UFC brass that he's determined to be a dominant finishing champion. I want to thank Dana White and Mick Maynard keeping the word to me, Abu Dhabi. I will do everything I can to be a great champion. My #1 goal to finish all my opponent and make it look easy. Do you see Ankalaev holding on to the title for a while, or do you think Pereira will reclaim the belt in what looks like an immediate rematch? Footage emerges. Dana White talks UFC's return to Russia. Due to well-documented complications, UFC hasn't hosted a card in Russia since 2019. However, new footage from UFC 313 shows Dana White telling someone that the promotion does plan to return if the new U.S. administration makes it possible. With so many Russian fighters on the roster and MMA's massive popularity in the country, fans have long speculated about a comeback. Now, it seems like it could finally be on the table.
The UFC will head back to Russia.
What did you expect coming in here tonight?
What do you make of White's comments? Do you see the UFC returning to Russia in 2025 or 2026? For reference, the last UFC event in Russia took place in November 2019, headlined by Zabit Magomedsharipov, who outscored Calvin Kattar for the decision win. At the time, no one expected it would be Zabit's final fight. He was seen as a rising star and a future contender at 145. ESPN compensates customers for UFC 313 issues. One of the biggest controversies from UFC 313 was the widespread ESPN Plus streaming issues. Many fans reported being unable to watch the pay-per-view, leading to a flood of online complaints. Dana White acknowledged the problems post-fight and, unsurprisingly, wasn't happy about it. Yeah, there were problems buying the pay-per-view on ESPN Plus. I don't know what happened with their platform tonight, but yeah, there are a lot of pissed-off people. Due to the technical issues and the flood of complaints, ESPN eventually made the card available for free. MMA pundit Luke Thomas shared his thoughts on the situation via social media. Here's what he had to say. I was going to buy the UFC 313 pay-per-view this morning on ESPN Plus because A, I need it for work, B, figured by now they might have ironed out the issue. To my surprise, it was free. There was no charge, it opened right up, and I watched the entire thing. Did anyone else experience this? Yeah, there it is. They're giving it away for free, basically. Wow! While it was frustrating for fans who wanted to watch the main card live, at least ESPN made it available later. Did you run into any issues streaming the event? Curtis Blades breaks silence on last-minute withdrawal. UFC 313 lost a big heavyweight. Matchup just hours before the event when Curtis Blades withdrew due to illness. Blades was set to face UFC newcomer Rizvan Kuniev on the prelims before the fight was scrapped. Blades later addressed his withdrawal on social media, confirming the fight will be rebooked. It's a tough break for the number 5 ranked heavyweight, who hasn't fought since getting stopped by Tom Aspinall last July. Blades is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Meanwhile, this marks the 3rd time Kuniev's UFC debut has been canceled. The Russian heavyweight earned a contract last summer by finishing Hugo Kuna on Dana White's Contender Series. Hopefully, the fight gets added to an upcoming card without any more setbacks. Despite suffering a brutal look-away knockout, at UFC 313, fan favorite Bobby Green is staying positive. Green faced rising lightweight Mauricio Ruffy in the main event, but things ended fast. Ruffy floored him with a jaw-dropping spinning wheel kick. Following the highlight reel defeat, Green posted this video statement.
This is the game we play. There's wins, there's losses. This is how it goes, you know? Shout out to Ruffy. You did your thing, brother. I'd like to see you have success in your future. Obrigado. And shout out to everybody that rocked with me and came through this whole thing, man. I love all you guys. I thank you so much for supporting me through all this. But we're not done, you know? Felt like I just need some more time to get myself back used to being in the cage. We'll be back. I promise you that.
Green's fans will be relieved to hear he isn't planning to retire just yet. However, with 3 losses in his last 4 fights, including 2 brutal knockouts, you have to wonder if calls for him to hang up the gloves will grow louder if he doesn't win his next bout. UFC fighter reveals retirement after loss. Not long ago, Jalen Turner was seen as a rising contender in the UFC's lightweight division. But after his UFC 313 loss, he shocked fans by hinting at retirement. Turner faced fast-rising Ignacio Bahamondes at the event and was caught in a fight-ending triangle choke in round 2. As he exited the cage, he was filmed telling the media that he's probably done fighting. Later, in an interview with Sportsnet's Aaron Bronstetter, Turner confirmed that he's seriously considering walking away from the sport. I felt like I'd get the nod, get the win. I watched him. He's an up-and-coming prospect. He deserved the opportunity, and I felt like I would have gotten my hand raised. And didn't I know it's emotional right now, but I've been thinking about this for the last 11 months, if I'm going to keep fighting or not. I was bad on signing the fight contract because I didn't know if I was going to retire or not. I didn't know how much longer I wanted to keep doing. Turner also emphasized that his decision is largely based on his physical health, noting how important it is to stay in top shape as a father. Now, my kids are getting older. I don't want to keep taking damage. Training camps are hard. Life is really taking a toll. It's been taking a toll the last 11 months, so I just need to step away for a little bit. I mean, maybe forever at this point. The competition just gets better. I'm just getting older, so yeah. I'm going to just sit down and think about it, but I think that's it. Despite this being Turner's 4th loss in his last 5 fights, his retirement talk comes as a surprise. At just 29 years old, his recent defeats have come against elite competition, including Mateus Gamrot, Dan Hooker, Renato Moicano, and, now, Ignacio Bahamondes. Speaking of Bahamondes, after the fight, he urged Turner to reconsider retiring. In a classy gesture, he even offered to train with him and provide a place to stay if he decides to keep going.
Yeah, I told him, don't do that. I tell him, don't do that. Come on, if you need help, if you need something, I'm here. If you need to come to Chicago and train some, just to love it again. I told him he could stay in my house, no problem. Like I'm open to help him. Our team is open to help him. And I just told him to go back home, just thinking about it. But please don't do it. He just he pushed me to my best and made me so better. And he still got a lot more to give to this sport.
What do you think? Should Turner keep fighting? Nina Drama fires back at UFC fighter for comment. Nina Drama didn't hold back after a UFC fighter's recent comment, firing back with a strong response. Since she's always around fighters who experience losses or setbacks, Nina didn't agree with the comment. She fired back at Diana, writing, "I respect you as a fighter, so I won't say anything bad. How am I? A curse when I filmed as many videos with Alex as I did with ANV. Please elaborate. You should focus more on training and less on tweeting negativity. Focus on your fight with Deanne Barboza. You have a tough challenge ahead. Wish you the best."